My name is Theresa Jewett, and I am a second-generation desert native. I was born and raised here. My father was also raised here. And like all good desert natives, we move away and then we come back, and I'm so glad I did. This is where I raised my son. Well, I gotta tell you, I fought to not be in real estate for the longest time because I thought, oh gosh, that's something that everyone and their mother does out here. And so I fought it for a really long time. And then, like a lot of people, I had to shift during the pandemic, and it had always interested me, but I just kind of started looking into it. And so once I got into it, I never looked back, of course, because I loved it, and it really just fed to my strengths, and it fed to my skill set and my personality. So my life before real estate was actually quite varied. My background is in performing arts. I went to college for it, I studied for it for years, but in the same breath I was a single mom. So I was working all the time, lots of different jobs, while also trying to be in performance as well. So that led me to a lot of different jobs that I actually really enjoyed. Out here I worked in the nonprofit sector as a professional fundraiser, and I loved that work. And then, of course, like I said before, all those skill sets naturally led me into real estate. And my father himself was a developer out here, so it was already in the family. Honestly, when I first started looking into real estate, it was because I liked the idea of working for myself, of setting or creating my own schedule, working on my own terms. I have a lot of energy. I'm a high energy person, and I knew I could contribute a lot more out of just the typical 9-to-5 work time frame, and that really appealed to me. It also allowed me to be available for my family. I could, make my own schedule and be present for my son and my husband. I actually got into real estate in a very uncertain time, but just knowing my own personality and knowing that, the real estate market is a long-term game, I knew that even though we were in a down market when I first started, I knew if I just was consistent and stayed the course that I would be able to excel, and I did. The only thing holding me back from my vision initially was just good old-fashioned experience, and that's why KW was so instrumental in any success I had, was because they prepared me for these really great contracts. They prepared me in the training, they prepared me as an agent, as a negotiator, and eventually as a closer. So once I got that education and that experience, there's no stopping. I wanted to always present myself as an expert in my field. I always wanted to present myself as somebody that's just there to help. And so that was something that held me back initially, because I thought that the stigma of being a salesy real estate agent was going to hold me back, but it doesn't. People really need your services. And people that are making such a huge investment and such a life change, it's an honor to be a part of that journey with them and to help them, because this is monumental. And at a certain point you go, oh, my job in this is much bigger than being a salesperson or getting contracts. It's guiding people to a really smart decision. Keller Williams was in my community, and so when I started researching which brokerages that really had the name and the reputation and the training, Keller Williams was hands down a no-brainer. And so that's what made it very easy for me to want to join the team. And then within the first 6 months, I had closed almost $5 million in sales. Well, culture was a huge part of KW for me. Where you work and who you work with and work alongside can really make or break your day-to-day, right? And so it was important to me that the culture with KW was in alignment of how I operated and how I worked. And it was so refreshing to come into an environment with not only good energy and positivity, but you had people there that were willing to help you, and not just help you in the moment, but follow up with you and follow through and say, okay, how did this work? What didn't work? Because everyone is there to succeed in their own way, and they're not there to bring anybody down. They're just there to root you on and cheer you on, and we all come together as a group, and we do that for each other, and it's so refreshing and it's so rewarding. So your win is everybody else's win, and their wins are your wins as well. Family to me is why I want to succeed in real estate. I now have the experience and the education. Again, it's ongoing, but now I feel a lot more confident in my work and in the information that I provide my clients. I feel that I'm able to make faster decisions. I'm able to guide them with more confidence, and also making sure that they're getting nothing but the best information that's out there. The biggest lessons that I've learned in real estate is that it's super important the people you surround yourself with. It's super important on your training, and a brokerage that encourages you to grow but also grows themselves. And I think this brokerage has really done that in leaps and bounds for me as a realtor, and it's done that for all of its agents at the brokerage. And I certainly would not be at the level of success in such a short amount of time if I hadn't had that environment and that culture and that training and that ongoing support. It doesn't stop once you start getting going. You're in a continual state of receiving great support, great information, and continual education. And it's been a fabulous blessing, and it continues to be just a great job to go into every day and make a living. I just know that we have something special at our brokerage, and that's why it'll continue to set me up for success.